Good afternoon. This is Seven Hawk Spirit Watcher at Boney Bone 7. And today is 17 May 2026. I'm making this short video this afternoon, sitting out in my backyard, enjoying the Emerald City, aka St. Louis. So anyway, I want to talk about the upcoming series on my channel, Anthropology of the Apocalypse, End Times versus Transformation. So I'm very excited about the channel's evolution, my growth, because I am not one to sit still. I progress, I move on, and with this being the Most High's realm, and He is executing His will, I move with the Most High. So in other words, as things evolve, as situations happen, you have to adapt to the changing environment, because the Most High stays the same. His laws, what have you, but He is ever changing, ever adapting in this time where we are off course, off balance. So about anthropology of the apocalypse, end times versus transformation, I am definitely going to take a position, okay, summarizing humanity, summarizing our story. And you're going to have to understand, disclaimer, this is all me. This is not a movement. It's not, how can I say, an agenda, what have you. It is a perspective that I can take because of experience. Having been introduced to the Bible at a young age, to toddler, for most people, that is something that is just unheard of, right? But for me and my family, it goes into our ancestral story here in the country. And reading and the ability to read is one of those learned, I should have got my little thing. Anyway, my little gadgets I'm getting from making videos. But anyway, from my family's experiences, the ability to read was our salvation. That was our freedom. Okay, acceptance of the environment of the game, how the cards play. My family was very good with that. That's why you see that flag. That's a family legacy, okay, of military service. And my uncles and what have you, my grandfather, never let our history here bother us or keep them from that service. That's the back of a church that I had a dream about before I moved to this home. So that's an interesting story. It's a grave stone back there. I'm gonna find out how old it is. Remember, my home is over 100 years old. But anyway, I wanted to do this video to kind of start the conversation of where I'm going. That's property I'm gonna have to take care of. St. Louis is very beautiful, old, historic. So for a lot of us who really understand this city and the legacy, the historical implications of being one of the Louisiana Purchase, this doesn't bother us, okay? But anyway, getting back to the legacy, and of military service with my family and how we handled our journey here in this country. You know, partly some of us being here through the maternal lineage of my grandmother and grandfather, and then the African portion as well. So the anthropology of apocalypse perspective allows me to bypass religion, observe, take nuggets, politics, genealogy, everything, and look at man as a single organism as it applies to us today. Okay, so we're looking at anthropology. Then we're looking at the spirituality. So that's where all the other aspects comes into this perspective. And then transformational truth, which, remember, I spoke that the Most High never changes, but in this realm he is constantly changing because we're off course, we're off balance. So we're going to look at mankind as a single organism, not really utilizing culture, but explaining how culture is used as a tool by civilizations. Is not just culture is ways, culture is belief systems, culture is practice, culture is also a military tool. Okay, and then looking at the truth being validated by nature. So in all of that, in all of your perspectives, if nature does not validate your truth in all that you're saying, and we'll explain that, and then coming from a perspective of culture is will take you in a circle. So anyway, that's coming up. Some may be like, what the hell did she just say? I can multitask in conversation. I do that in my writing too. I had someone online. I'm going through all of my stuff, right? Getting it ready, set up for my channel, my not new perspective, but evolving perspective. And I had someone comment about my book online, and they weren't very literate. I'm assuming, because they said it was terrible because I changed characters or something every other chapter, and they couldn't keep up with it. And I'm like, oh well, they couldn't watch a television series that does the same thing. Okay, a soap opera that I don't know. Maybe they can watch it on TV, but they couldn't read it. But anyway, I do that with my speech too. So in all, you can look forward to a conversation whereas the logic of nature is going to have to validate your belief system, or you can throw it out the window. Peace, love,